So I don't even really know where to start with this. Um, but here we are again talking about the passing of a 90s icon that a lot of people, especially in my generation, grew up admiring. Of course, I think it was literally just a week ago. Um, I put out a video giving my thoughts and my condolences and my prayers regarding the death of Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from the animated series and from the Arkham games. Of course, for a lot of people, that was Batman. His Batman was Batman for a lot of people. I think most people would agree that that is the animated Batman, the Arkham Batman, that those are the standards for any portrayal of Batman. We talked about the passing of Kevin Conroy, of course, passing away from a cancer, and that was tragic in its own right. Of course, cancer is an awful thing. I've had to deal with it in my family. Some of you know the situation with my grandmother and what happened there, and cancer is a very tragic thing, but you know, when it's something like a disease or it's, just from old age or something like that, it's a natural cause, and there's a recognition that, we all are going to pass away at some point, whether it be from a disease or just time and old age. No one gets out of this thing alive. So as sad as it is, death is always sad, but as sad as it is, there is a certain ability to cope with it, to be able to, understand it, to rationalize it, to have the capability to move on. Of course, never forgetting anyone that has passed away, but, being able to continue going forward. But the situation with Jason David Frank is unfortunately a very different scenario, a very different type of tragedy. My opinion, a far worse tragedy, and that Jason David Frank did not pass away of natural causes. It was not due to any kind of disease. It was not due to old age. Obviously, the man was, the man was only 49 years old. But Jason David Frank over the weekend did take his own life. Suicide is one of those things that there is no words to really be able to put out there. There's really nothing to say to be able to provide comfort. Because, number one, you don't know what kind of demons he was going through. Number two, it's just so unnatural. It's so in defiance of how things are supposed to work. We're not meant to take our own lives. Every living creature, its basic instinct is to fight for survival, to keep going as long as possible. So to take your own life, it leaves you speechless. I honestly, I don't know what to say. I can't put out any comforting words out there for the fans, and, especially for the family, which, they're probably never going to see this, but I can't imagine what they're going through right now. The questions they're asking. I know one question they must be asking, which is just very simply, why? I know that Jason David Frank was dealing with a lot of stuff in his life. He had lost some family members. I know that apparently he was going through a divorce. I was not aware of that until this story broke, but apparently he was going through a divorce and things were not good in his life. So obviously he was dealing with some struggles. Obviously he was dealing with some demons, and you never really know what someone's going through. But let me say this, and I don't want to spend a ton of time on this particular point, but you know, I made a comment, you know, that for people that are considering taking their own life, for people that are considering going down this route, just don't. Keep fighting. As long as you have breath in your body, you have hope. It's a big world. There's hope somewhere out there, and you need to find what makes you happy. There's something out there that can make you happy. There's something out there that can keep you going. I don't say that in judgment of Jason David Frank or anyone that's done this. I don't believe in talking ill of the dead, you know, unless it's some asshole like, you know, Adolf. But you know, I don't believe in speaking ill of the dead. So a lot of people took that comment as me being judgmental of Jason David Frank. That was never my intention. I just am thinking to myself, you don't know who's reading these comments. You don't know what people are dealing with. And if somebody comes across my comment, I want to put out, especially given this situation, I want to put out there a message of hope, because you can't do anything to save Jason at this point. But if my comment, even in some small way, could help someone who's struggling with this not make the same decision, if it could save a life, then I'm going to do it. You know, there was some people out there that were trying to say, I mean, they were trying to nudge me in the direction of, you know, saying that suicide is a valid option, and I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to do that. In fact, in the description box of this video, and I'll have a pinned comment down in the comment section as well, I'm going to leave links to resources. I'm going to leave phone numbers, the suicide hotline. I'm going to leave links to some resources that, if you're struggling with this, if you're dealing with this, get in contact with these people and let them help you, please. Do not go down this road. Keep fighting, keep going. Life is always worth living, no matter what. It's always darkest before dawn. So I'm going to be leaving resources down in the description box below. I'm not going to be leaving any links to my other channels or anything, because this is not the type of video. This is not the type of video where I want to promote my stuff. This is not the time nor the place for it. But I will be leaving links to resources if you're dealing with this issue, if you're struggling with this, that you can reach out to people who can help you, that have the qualifications and the training to be able to help you. Please reach out to somebody, please. I beg of you. It's not worth going down that road. Don't do this. This is a tragedy. You know, when you think about the Power Rangers franchise, I mean, this, as far as live action kids TV shows go, this is probably the biggest one. A lot of us grew up with Power Rangers, and the face of Power Rangers, I would say even today, has been Jason David Frank, has been his character, Tommy Oliver. You know, I would always tell people, you know, Tommy is one of the best freaking characters in fiction, period. If you don't fuck with Tommy, I don't fuck with you, all right? If you ain't cool with Tommy, I'm not cool with you, okay? You know, that's the face of a franchise right there. And he was always excited to get back into the franchise. I mean, he showed up for so many anniversary specials and stuff. I remember Power Rangers Megaforce, even though the season was kind of trashy, and to be fair, I don't watch Power Rangers nearly as much as I used to. I have no idea what's even going on in the show. I know that apparently Lord Zed is back, which is cool, but I haven't been keeping up with it. Last Power Ranger franchise series that I saw that I was actually devoted to watching on a week-to-week basis was Power Rangers Mystic Force, and that's been quite a while. But and I liked Mystic Force. I didn't care for the next one. I think it was Operation Overdrive. I thought that was kind of lame, but you know, Tommy showed up in the Mega Force, which was like the big anniversary special, and there he was dressed up as the Green Ranger again. Of course, you know, he was the mentor of Dino Thunder. He was the Black Ranger there. He's been all sorts of Rangers. He's been the Green Ranger. He's been the White Ranger. He's been the Red Ranger. He's been the Black Ranger. I mean, he's been a part of so much of this franchise. And we grew up with Tommy. I mean, I grew up with Tommy. Tommy has been my favorite Ranger. I don't know, man. Like, it's between this and Conroy, it's just, you feel your childhood slipping away, you know what I mean? And I think about Jason's friends and family and what they've lost, and it's nothing. I mean, yes, the fans, we feel a certain level of loss, but it's nothing compared to what his loved ones are going through. God, I put out a prayer for them, a prayer for Jason. You know, I also, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard a rumor that apparently Jason David Frank wanted to do a Power Rangers movie based on Lord Draken and the comic books centering around that, which I haven't actually read the comic books, but I am aware of what the story is about. It's apparently like an alternate universe. Tommy Oliver, who you know, he decided to remain evil. He didn't become a good guy. He's stuck with Rita, was still evil, and what ended up happening is that eventually he actually overthrew Rita, killed Rita, and he ended up becoming like this evil Power Ranger overlord who is going around destroying other Rangers, going into other universes, other timelines and stuff, and like apparently Kimberly became like an assassin for him, and I think he even combined the Green Ranger and White Ranger powers. You know, it sounded like a cool storyline. I think Jason was wanting to make a movie about it, but Hasbro shut him down. They didn't want to do it, which is a stupid idea. I mean, this idea that you could have a Lord Draken movie and possibly get like alternate timeline, like an older Austin St. John playing an older Jason, the original Red Ranger, and you could get a rematch between Jason and Tommy, and it would have been so cool. Like, you would have had all the 90s kids just flowing into the theaters to see this. It would have been amazing, this Ultimate Power Rangers rematch. And there's also been other actors that worked on the show. You know, I know that Austin St. John came out with comments and that he sends his condolences, as well as Amy Jo Johnson, who was the original pink Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Of course, you know, a lot of people ship Tommy and Kimberly together. You know, there's been a lot of people coming out and sending out their condolences, which, you know, as they should, it's appropriate. And it hurts. I mean, it really does. I wish this hadn't happened. I wish he could have got the help he needed, but here we are. I hope that he finds some peace in the next life, in the next world. And I hope his family can somehow find peace in this world. That being said, I'm going to leave you off on some comments from Austin St. John, who was, of course, played Jason and the original Mighty Morphin Red Power Ranger, Tommy's rival in the show. And yeah, I'm going to leave you off from some comments from him. I'll have the link to his full comments down in the description box below. And again, if you're struggling with this, I'm going to be leaving resources down in the description box below. And I'm going to be leaving those resources in a pinned comment down below. So if you're dealing with this, please reach out to people who are qualified and able to help you. Please. I'm begging you. I'll leave those resources down below. That being said, thank you guys so much for listening. Pray for Jason David Frank. Pray for his family. And pray that this doesn't happen to anybody else. Alright, that being said, this is Jessica James, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I hope he rests in peace, and my prayers and my thoughts go out to his family. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger, brother. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Much love.